Hi Gemini, this is gonna be your art channeled message. I channel messages through art, creativity. I really hope my messages inspire you to see the art within yourself and within your journey, as well as everything around you, because we all start from zero, which is a blank canvas. It's just the fool's journey. For like a personal reading, I do offer those. There's channeled art, which is $111, and then just a regular tarot reading with topic of your choice, which is usually around $40. So that's some of that. And lastly, there's no rules here, so if this finds you, it's definitely meant for you. You can binge watch them. Watch if you're not that sign. There's the overall message, the overall art, and then there's the underlying stuff, or the subliminal stuff. So there's a reason I describe it, at least for these. What I started drawing for you was a strange looking hourglass. The top is shaded in, whilst the bottom is open. You'd think it would be the other way around, because when everything is on the top, even from a gravity standpoint, it has to drop, has to go down, but it's not. I'm seeing this marks the beginning of something. I just heard no time constraints. I'm seeing as well right now, be wary of the pressure placed on yourself by imaginary deadlines. This could even apply to life, like thinking if the do get married by 30, go to school by 25. It really does not matter, because the pace you're going at is perfectly fine. This reminds me of Aladdin 2. Like I said, everything is occurring exactly as it's supposed to. You have all the time in the world, hence why all of the dust is still at the top of my hourglass. As for Aladdin, Jafar had Jasmine under a spell, and the hourglass resembled his time left in order to save Jasmine, or for Aladdin to save Jasmine. And she was almost drowning in it. Also, when she was under that spell, she was all over Jafar, because when she's sane or sober, I guess you could say, she wanted nothing to do with him. He wanted her to be submissive, and in turn, she was defensive. It also reminds me of power struggles. Jasmine technically was one in power, and so was he in a way, but his power wasn't really that real. So it's like two people butting heads, expecting someone to be submissive, expecting to get a different reaction, and you don't. You don't get what you want. I'm seeing something about submitting to time, but I'm also seeing something here about submissiveness. Just like there are no time constraints, you don't like being constrained by a person. And I feel like that's what's going on. It's like as soon as you change this, you break the spell. You aren't on nobody's time. Not to mention, if you're considering being submissive to someone, at least make sure they're worthy of that first. Like, are they taking the lead? Are they a good person? Do they seem like a good use of time? And I don't mean submissive, because I feel like there's so much taboo, like, things around submissive. What I really mean is someone who leads. Usually in a dynamic, there's always the one that takes the lead and then the one that kind of follows. It's like, are you even worthy of being a leader? I'm hearing worth your time too. I'm not really sure where this is going. I'm also hearing, if I don't even abide by time, why would I abide by you? But remember, I was getting this energy of you being controlled by it as well, which then reflects your life, your daily life. But I feel like this doesn't just apply to submitting to time or even a person. You just straight up don't listen or abide by many things. It reminds me of how you'll go into hermit mode or do something for self-care. It's not really motivated by anything else. Then you have all these people going like, hey, why isn't your attention all on me? How dare you? The whole time you could have been in the hospital, or the whole time you could have had something really important going on. But some people are just that. It kind of reminds me of the same thing as Jafar. It's like, how dare that one person not swoon over me like everyone else does? I feel like that could even be it. Just someone's not used to that happening and they don't like that it's coming from you. Why don't you submit to the same things I submit to? Even getting like, why don't you submit to torture? Like, you know, some people accept the bare minimum or go through horrific things, but I feel like you're rejecting that, and it's like, why aren't you doing that too? It's like, why isn't all your attention on me? They're only upset because what you're doing is on your own accord. A lot of people don't have the power to do that, and that's why they're upset. This even goes for the opposite sex. I feel like too, Jafar in this scenario symbolizes those guys / people that want to be it so bad. But really, they're just the prime example of toxic masculinity or toxic femininity, even. Goes both ways. Let's see. If you don't submit to time, why would you submit to a person? It also reminds me of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. There's always that one person. It's like everyone swoons over them, but the only reason they want the one that doesn't want them is to prove something. It's control, it's power. It has nothing to do with anything else. I feel like that could even allude to like your situation. You're interested in someone they look down upon, because Jafar, he kind of saw a lot of people as peasants, and so did Gaston, just looked down at everybody. But then when Jasmine, when the princess, when the powerful one falls for a genuine person, it's like, no. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that slave? What are you doing with that poor person? It's the exact way. Same way. When in fact that poor person has more depth than you or everyone combined. We have the Three of Cups. Immediately, I'm seeing this as, one, the hourglass. It's the same shape, but it's a cup, obviously. But I'm also seeing this as townsfolk. In every Disney movie, they have that. And there's always usually that one that rebels, or the one that doesn't give that person attention, or the one that isn't a part of anything. Kind of like Belle. So here's the hourglass. I'm seeing this alludes to 3 people, 3 different clocks, 3 different people being controlled by time. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Two of Cups. There it is. First and foremost, whenever I look at this person, I get this envisionment of like just a heart. Someone that has to work harder than other people because maybe they're not as fortunate. I'm even getting this Aladdin vibe. They came from 2 different backgrounds, yet I feel like they were even dressed differently. Seeing this as 2 different backgrounds coming together. Jasmine was sort of rebelling, but he was also rebelling. I believe he also like stole things. He was considered a street rat. Same story, different backgrounds. I'm even seeing this as someone that loses track of time and just continues to work on something regardless of a deadline. I feel like it's important to not psych yourself out with deadlines once again. I'm not sure what you're working on, but don't let that creep up in the back of your mind, because I feel like it's self-sabotages your progress. Don't think of time. Maybe like don't think of time, think of a person. Remind yourself of positive things, even if that involves another person. Work on it together. I feel like you're going to be coming together with someone instead. I feel like that will help you pass the time much better. Oh my god. Do you know that feeling people say? It's like when you're with the right person, it's like time just passes by, or time goes so quickly. It feels like it goes faster when you're having a perfect time. But when you're at work or when you're at school, or when you're doing things you hate, it goes so slow and you're like, I need to get out of here. But it's like, why can't I savor this moment longer? I feel like you're gonna be with someone and it's gonna go so fast, and like, I want to lose track of it. I don't want to listen to it. It's like I want to flip the hourglass over and start over. So it's like when you're with somebody, it's like time doesn't exist. That's how you know it's the right person. So when you're dealing with a Jafar, someone that wants to control, it's like, I don't even listen to time. Why would I listen to you? That's how you know. You also know you're with the right person when you kind of want to be submissive, when you want to just let go. You don't feel defensive. Not even to time. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm saying so many things. Time constraints. Just got 8 o'clock. Something occurs at 8 o'clock. I feel like this is the border between like sundown and daylight. Because, right, this is usually the border between like daylight savings. You know how the sky looks. I feel like it even looks like that outside right now, ironically. I'm gonna get an oracle card. Finish this reading. We have Angel, helping those in need with no expectation of return. That's where this comes into play too. It's like, how do you act when you're rejected? How do you act when you don't get the person you want? It's like, life is about rejection. A lot of guys can't take rejection, and sometimes girls can't take rejection either. But it's a huge reflection of your character, whether you can or not. Can you move on? Angel, can you heal from that? Can you take that experience and just accept that maybe that person isn't into you? Because 2 of Cups is balance, and if one person doesn't want it, you need to let it go. It's like someone's just very insistent. It's like, how could you not want me? It's very self-centered. Then we have shadow attributes, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Yeah, falsely claiming to be of this when that's not all that matters. Okay, that's the end of this art channeled message. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I think these 3 cards kind of sum this up very well. It's like losing track of time. So much going on here. Okay, guys. Bye. Hi, I just finished up your reading, and I wanted to also mention that this came to me out of nowhere. I hate when this happens when I wrap up readings, but Jasmine also had a time constraint, the hourglass, in regards to finding a husband, finding a partner in such a short amount of time. You know, it's like the princess needs a prince, king needs a queen. There's a lot of movies surrounding that scenario where it's like you have to find this in a certain amount of time or you'll be dethroned, stuff like that. I'm saying when you let go of time as well, since they were both rejecting it, That's how her and Aladdin came together.